What's going on, preppers? Welcome back to the channel. Economic Prepper here. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope the prepping community is doing very well today. I got an urgent message. I don't know if I should say urgent. Let's just say I got a message from a guy who owns and operates a trucking company that I want to share with you guys. And this certainly looks like it could be leading to another empty shelves situation on a very global or US-wide scale. We're going to talk about that later in this video. But guys, nearly 2 years ago since the pandemic began, inflation is at its highest in 4 years. And I don't have to tell you guys this. And online orders from websites like Walmart, Amazon, Target, and Costco, they used to take weeks to show up. They're now showing up in a matter of days. Now, with that being the case, a lot of people are thinking, well, is this situation with empty shelves and the supply chain, is it still really a problem? Do we really have to worry? Do we really have to prep? Now, depending upon where in the country you live, empty shelves is still a real situation. For grocery stores like Kroger, Publix, Aldi, for the most part, it's not a big issue across the United States, but based on the comments that I'm reading, there are still segments, parts of the country where empty shelves is still a problem. And I think, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, are empty shelves more of a problem in the rural areas, like where, the populations are smaller, or are you finding that empty shelves situations within grocery stores is still a problem, maybe in toward the suburban, less rural areas as well? You guys comment down below and you let me know what you're seeing. But the question is, does that mean that we still need to prepare for food shortages? I mean, do we still need to prep? If you ask me, I'm always going to be prepared. I'm not going to wait for a crisis to hit and then respond to it. That's just not smart. You want to prepare and be ahead of these things. And when I say prepare, we're not only talking about preparation for food. We're prepping with regard to our finances. We want to prep economically. And when I'm talking about economically, I'm talking about making sure that we have a savings account, making sure we have an emergency fund, and also making sure that we have multiple forms of currency in the event that the banking system collapses or for whatever reason is unavailable. Now, Texas truckers warn of parked rigs potentially causing empty shelves until 2023. Now, the Texas Trucking Association and the owner-operators themselves are warning Texans that, the possibility of empty shelves may occur as food prices continue to rise. And they're essentially causing a huge problem for the owner-operators and drivers of these trucks. They're pricing the shippers and the owner-operators out of loads. Now, I'm not a trucker myself, but I do know some truckers. I'm pretty sure some of my audience members are truckers. You guys comment down below. What are you guys seeing in terms of the price of loads on the market? I've spoken to a number of truckers, and they're saying, hey, we're not making the money that we used to make. There was a shortage of truckers at one point. It's less of an issue now with truckers showing interest in wanting to haul the loads, but the issue now is the rising cost of fuel, rising cost of gasoline and diesel. The president of the Texas Trucking Association did say that these days fuel and tires is getting there. Now, I didn't know how expensive tires were until I ran into a trucker recently, and he explained to me that he replaced 4 tires, and 4 tires cost him $2,500. And that's a pretty expensive set of tires. I don't know. I mean, that's what he told me. I drive a car, so I don't know if that's a good price for tires. I don't know if that's expensive for truck tires for a semi-truck, for an 18-wheeler. I don't know, but all I know is that for only 4 to cost $2,500, that's very expensive, especially when you look at how far and how quickly miles run up on semi-trucks. Now, he went on to say that if you're an independent owner-operator, imagine... Sorry about that. I was actually getting a phone call in the middle of my video, but basically he said, imagine if you're an owner operator and one of your biggest expenses just climbs up through the roof overnight. It's really going to eat into your bottom line. Now, another trucker said that it comes out of your profit. Now, this goes without saying. If you're an owner operator, you're running your own business and you have expenses and you have your revenues. Well, if your revenue is remaining flat, and in this particular instance, he says, if you made $3,000, you got to know that $700 is going to come out of your profit, right? So if your expenses are going up, but your revenue is not going up, that's a huge problem. And he went on to say that when he first started, that diesel prices were 99 cents a gallon. Now, this guy apparently was in the trucking industry for quite some time for diesel prices for him to be able to remember that diesel prices at one point were 99 cents a gallon. But he said that the truckers would rather let their trucks sit than to haul foods and to haul fuel and other goods that, come from container port yards to the local stores, if it means that the truckers are going to be delivering the goods at a loss. Now, we got to think about this for a second, right? Like, what trucker would ever want to work for free? I mean, I don't want to work for free. Would you want to work for free? And so it's getting to a point with what these truckers are being paid for the loads that they're carrying in relationship to how much fuel is costing. The truckers are getting to a point where they're literally taking a loss just to move products from point A to point B. So it's really no surprise to me that a lot of truckers are literally just saying, hey, I'm just going to park my truck, right? I'm not even going to haul anything. Now, here's what was really interesting. So I was actually pumping gas myself and had a little small talk with the guy, like right in the pump right in front of me, in the pump like right in front of me. And come to find out, he was actually a trucker himself. And basically what he was saying was that a lot of new truckers, especially the new ones, but there's a lot of truckers out there, especially the new ones, starting to park their trucks. And he said that a lot of truckers will not make it. And I took this as a warning, Now, granted, this is an anecdotal situation. This may not be everybody, but what he did say is that a lot of the newer truckers, they're not prepared to deal with the market. They don't have necessarily the same types of contracts that some truckers have that will ultimately allow their pre-negotiated rates to essentially balance out with the price of fuel. Meaning, he said a lot of the truckers nowadays, a lot of the newer truckers, they're taking loads and they're negotiating rates and prices, but by the time they actually go to haul the products, the price of gas, the price of diesel fuel has gone up so drastically from the time where the agreement was made to the time where they're hauling the products, that they're actually taking a loss. And so what he said to me is that a lot of the truckers are starting to park their trucks and they're not going to be delivering. Now, this is scary because, now again, this is one guy, but he said he's been in the industry for a while. I mean, this is the same guy who's been in the industry since diesel prices were around 99 cents, right? But the key is this. If we see widespread truckers all of a sudden no longer delivering, what do you think is going to happen? I mean, in the grocery stores, I don't care if you shop at Walmart, Target, Costco, it doesn't matter, BJ's, Kroger, Aldi, we're going to see empty shelves if truckers stop delivering goods because they're being priced out of the market. I mean, it's just plain and simple. This is basic economics. I'm not going to work for free. I know you guys are not going to work for free. What are you guys doing? What are you guys doing to prepare, if you're a trucker, for this kind of circumstance? I mean, just think about it. I did some research just the other day. There's over 3.5 million truckers in the United States alone. That's a tremendous number of jobs that will be potentially lost. That's a tremendous number of families that would be subject to a massive economic hardship as a result of, I mean, just think, if you're a parent and you're the breadwinner as a truck driver, how's your family going to survive? So this brings me to my next point. We got to have multiple sources of income. We're evolving economically from a period in time, for a long period of time, where you could live on one income, you could have a 2-parent or 2-income household. But now it's really getting to a point where I'm almost being convinced that you have to have multiple sources of income. So even if you have one job, you need to strongly consider creating an additional stream of income, whether that's an online business, maybe it's a side hustle, maybe it's driving for Uber, for Lyft, maybe it's I was actually looking at this one opportunity, Walmart Spark. They're offering this one girl, she was saying that she's making like an extra $150 a day just driving and delivering groceries for Walmart Spark. So that's a new opportunity. But the key is multiple streams of income, and not to rely on just one job anymore. I mean, times are changing, you guys. And speaking of that, Amazon Flex drivers, they're also making a killing. Maybe not a killing, but I was actually reading that Amazon Flex Pay, and I don't know if this is across the board. I don't know if Amazon Flex rates change, like if you're delivering, let's just say in Florida, or you're delivering in, I don't know, Texas or Wisconsin. I don't know if the rates are different depending upon where you're delivering. But Amazon Flex, a lot of people are generating extra money, additional income doing Amazon Flex, and they're making anywhere from $18 an hour to as high as $35 an hour based on the research that I found. So I just want to share some of these different income generating opportunities with you guys, because the next crisis that we face is going to be more of an economic crisis. And I want us as preppers to be prepared. We're not trying to allow anything to sneak up on us if we can help it. Now, we can't prep for every single crisis that could possibly happen. But in my opinion, prepping economically is going to be more important for you and your family than any other type of preparation that you can do. One other thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about was that recently, and this is hopefully a very isolated event, but we've been hearing a lot more about, the Second Amendment, and, a lot of law-abiding citizens' rights are at risk here, and whether or not law-abiding citizens should be allowed to continue to arm themselves. A man was recently fatally shot an employee and injured another employee at a Subway restaurant. Because why? Because there was too much mayo on his sandwich. Now, the scary thing here is that this individual, for whatever reason, I just never picture women being victims to violent crimes like this, right? But unfortunately, this one crazy guy, he shot at 2 workers. One was a 26-year-old woman who died from her gunshot wound, and the other one was a 24-year-old woman who is battling for her life right now. But I don't know if you guys have heard about this story. It's crazy. But the thing that I wanted to ask you guys is, are you prepared to live in a society where, number one, your right to bear your arms is at risk, number one. But number two, more importantly, it seems like we may be moving more and more towards a life or lifestyle of isolation, where more and more people are choosing to work from home and not work traditional jobs. I mean, think about it. Let's just say that one of the 2 women is able to survive this critical situation that she's dealing with right now. Can you imagine going back to work and thinking about the previous situation that put you in the hospital? More and more people are going to be opting for working from home, creating businesses that allow you to work from home so that you can avoid some of these crazy people who are just deranged and are violent. In addition, gas prices, $6 a gallon, $7 a gallon, $8 a gallon, $9 a gallon. It gets to a point where, depending upon how much you're making, it may not be profitable to go to work. And so working from home, creating an online business Finding a company that allows you to work from home may be your only way to offset the rising cost of fuel, the rising cost of gas, so that you can make enough money to pay your bills. So this could be the direction that we're headed. Many people, the current administration is pushing the clean energy and electric vehicles, and that's all well and good, but we don't even have the electric grid infrastructure to support our current demands now. So it's unrealistic for most people to go out and afford a $50, $60, $70, $80,000 Tesla or any other type of electric vehicle for that matter. And the electrical grid system has already proven that it's not ready for a mass influx of people going the electric vehicle route or EV route. So it stands to reason that there's a good chance that more and more people may be forced to have to work from home. They may be forced to have to create online businesses just to make enough money to feed their families, with the cost of gas as expensive as it is. So anyway, guys, last thing I want to share with you guys is I happened to stumble across the highest savings rate that I've found so far, which just so happens to be on ETRADE. If you go to ETRADE.com, you can check it out. I don't get any kickback, or I'm not affiliated with them at all. But right now, I did see a note on their website that you can earn 1.4% annual interest rate, annual percentage yield on your savings account. So if anybody takes advantage of that, good for you. I hope you guys got some value out of this video. I hope I'm opening your eyes to some important concerns that I have. And I hope that you guys are prepping and preparing for what is coming. I've got a lot more news and information for you guys. I'm going to share more ways to generate more income for you and your family. I'm going to share more ways to potentially guard yourself from the negative effects of inflation, whether it be helping you guys learn to start a business, whether it be investing in or putting your money into cryptocurrency or gold, whatever it may be. I'm going to share some insights with you guys that a lot of people are not aware of, and this will help you to prepare for the coming economic crises. And I say crises because it's never just one that we're going to be facing. If you guys are getting value out of these videos, do me a favor, drop a like for the video. Also consider subscribing to the channel. If you have any questions for me, leave them in the comments down below. I'd love to hear from you guys. I appreciate the support. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.